Hey everybody, ReefGrrl here, and welcome to ReefGrrl Live. I am so happy you could make it. The whole idea here is to have some fun, chat, get some questions answered, maybe show off what you're doing, and get to know each other a little bit better. So sit back, relax, grab a drink. The stream is about to begin. Hi everyone, nice to see you all again on a Saturday night. I skipped last week because I was moving Mollywood, which was successful, by the way, so I'm very happy about that. We have 11 people right off the bat. Let's say hi to who's here. We had Benny Fernandez in here first. Hola Benny. Then Tony Close UK Reef was a close second. Hey Tony, how's it going? Ryan Shackleton says, hi from the UK, can't be on tonight because it's late here, so if you could give me a shout out, I'll watch the repeat tomorrow. There's your shout out, Ryan. Hope you enjoyed the repeat. Hi, Braveheart Reefer 525, also from the UK and sacrificing sleep unless it's a job thing. Hi, Straight Reefer. He says, hi, ReefGrrl and Reefers. Hey, Hector, Calypso's Reefs. Hector, I really enjoyed your stream last Saturday. When I finally had a chance a couple days later to watch it. So that's great that people had something to do on a Saturday night, weren't at loose ends. It's awesome. Hey Dan Middleton, nice to see you. And WVU Reefer is here. Hello from Best Virginia. We have Mr. DKH. Hi Mr. DKH and Terrence Little Ocean. Hi ReefGrrl and everyone, happy Saturday. Oh, and we've got Diacanthus Reef here, Nano Joe. There's Chase V. There is Murphy's Aquatics. How's it going, Pat? Scotty Damron, nice to see you. Howdy from Tennessee. Anya Libman, hi there, Anya. Frogger7, hello. JV Gwaltney is here. Hi, JV. I hope you're doing well. Broke Reefman 45. Who else is here? Oh, there's Robert Poorman, another person from the UK, sacrificing the sleep. Awesome. So we moved almost all of the big reef tank and we have one piece left to go, and that's getting moved tomorrow, and then fish on Monday, I hope. So we'll see how it goes with the fish. I'm usually pretty good at catching fish, and we moved some rocks from the rock cooking tote that I have going to put into the big tank to give the fish something to hang out by so they wouldn't freak out with no structure in there. So all we need to do is pull those out and try and catch them just within the tank itself. There won't be anything else to get in the way. So we'll see how that goes. I do have a fish trap. I have never used it, but I might have to. Everybody's saying hi. Oh, Hector says, a lot of commotion going on in the background. He'll hold on as long as possible. Yeah, I know what that's like. I went around looking for the source of a noise before, and it turned out it was the humidifier fan in the laundry room that's right there. So I shut the door. It's really distracting. So I hope everyone's had a good week and kept busy and looking after those reef tanks, and those who are still able to work are working and healthy. And I can't believe how fast the time goes. It's insane. As I said, I moved most of the reef by now and have just one piece, the right hand arch, to go. And I don't know if I'm going to have enough space. It's going to be really, really tight. I may have to have some of my corals babysat somewhere, or perhaps put a few in Mollywood, because it's just that extra few inches of depth front to back makes a huge difference. Oh, there's Blue Carbon Reefing. What's up there, John? And Hector says he's going to come in to give me some company. That's great, Hector. I sent out an email with about 37 names on it. If you're ever a guest on here, I will usually add you to the list and send it out every week as I'm setting up the live stream. So if you've been on here before and you'd like to get on here again, check your email, because it's possible I might have sent you something, and you'll have the link handy if you want to jump in. Everyone's welcome. What else is going on? Oh, there's Chimp the Reefer, Benny Fernandez. Let's all jump. That'd be great, but there's only room for 5 of you plus me. What's up, ReefGrrl and everyone? Chimp the Reefer, how's it going? Oh. Cindy say happy fat horror day. Honestly, Pat, I hope I didn't ruin it for you, but when I looked at that shirt, all I could see was fat horror. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's if you follow Pat Murphy on Instagram, he showed a picture of a Father's Day gift, and this is the conversation we had around that. So check it out if you're interested. It was just, yeah, crazy. Hey, Mitch Boudreau. Yep, I just thought I would add, I missed Billy Pipe's video reef tank updates already. Yeah, I know what you mean. I loved how consistent and frequent they were, because you always knew exactly what was going on in his tanks. And I agree with you. I really do like following people and knowing what's happening with them. And that's one of the reasons I like to put out regular updates, and I don't do it as often as I should. Hey, Nano Joe. Oh, I think I already said hi to you, but I can say hi again. Hi, Reef and Chill. And there's Cue Balls Reef. Nice to see you, Cue Balls Reef. I'm going to let Hector in. And I know he's had some stuff going on. He had a power head issue in one of the Twin Cities. So Hector,
Hello.
I saw your power head issue. Boy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's dead. It's gone. Bye bye.
In the
No
garbage?
good. Yeah. Yeah. That's where it's at. It's gone. That's the same one that was giving me problems. I end up buying a new one because like once algae started growing on it, it wouldn't do nothing. It just stayed like, you know, with a steady stream, but it wasn't no power to it. So you have to like either I touch it so I can start like doing the settings again, but it wasn't doing nothing. So, but then it just died. I came from work and boop, came to a steel tank.
Oh boy.
Scary, because that's the one I'm going to Acro. So
yeah, no kidding. Hey, Chad Kurtz. Nice to see you. I think I've said hi to everybody. Yeah, Diacantha says agreed. He hopes that Billy comes back.
I know. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, hey, Camaro Kid. Good evening, people. We're up to 31 people already. Well, I have to say, I missed last week because of Mollywood, moving Mollywood.
I know. Yeah.
And it was a success.
Yeah, perfect.
And I have all of the video footage and everything else. I tried to upload some to show you guys tonight, and I have to mess around with it because it's too big a file.
And, I told you got this.
Well, yeah, and I took all the sand out.
Oh, look at that.
So nice. It looks so much better. I can't believe what a difference. I hated that sand with the black pebbles in it because of the kind of the coarse grain that it was, and all the little stones turned black. I know that was because they basically became biological, but it looked horrible.
Yeah, it'll look nice.
And so I've been adding Microbacter 7, just like a half a capful every other day.
Yeah.
Just in case, just to add some more in case yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully, and I got a new coral.
Oh.
Jeez, I can't even remember if I put it on Instagram. You know, I'm losing my mind. I tell you.
You're not the only one.
Oh man. Let's see if I can put it up here.
I'll be forgetting things too fast.
Yeah.
Too fast to the point that I say I'm gonna do something now and like a half a minute later, I forget what I was gonna do.
Yeah, or you walk into a room
I came here for.
Yeah, exactly. That happens to me all the time. Let's just see if I can get this picture. It should show up.
Yeah, it was a rough week. You know, coming to that, the power hit. I found 3 corals dead.
Oh no, that's not good.
And then my hurricane machine also gone. It lasted long, 17 years. So.
Wow.
I should have grabbed another one a long time ago.
Okay, this one won't go. Come on. I'm going to make it a background. I'm fighting with this program tonight. It's not letting me do what I want to do. Is it this one? Oh, here it comes. It was my fault. It's not the program, it's my fault. I didn't do something I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my new coral.
Let's see. Ooh.
It's an orange acanthophilia.
It's
amazing.
huge, huh? That
Yep.
thing is huge. I see the shrimp right next to it. It's big.
Yeah, it is big. It's not massive, but it's probably, I don't know, 3-4 inches across. Well, 3 inches across when it's inflated. Yeah,
Wow.
I've always wanted one, so I traded it for a bunch of my frags this week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
we have Chase here. Okay, so Hector, I'm going to bring Chase in.
Yep.
And you guys are going to talk and make sure you can hear each other.
Okay. Perfect.
And me.
And you. Okay.
I think I'll make that a habit from now on because when people come in and they can't hear everybody. Okay. Hey,
good.
Chase.
Chase B. Nope, no can hear him.
Sorry.
Oh,
there
muted.
you go.
Oh, there we go.
Now I can hear him. Yeah.
So can you hear me, Chase?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Perfect.
Awesome. We can hear you. Good. We
Let me
won't
know
have
if
any
my-
of that weirdness.
Let me know if my AC unit's too loud again.
No,
We
I
can
think
hear
it's okay.
something. I can hear a little humming, but it's good.
I live
Yeah.
in the desert. I
You
gotta
need it.
cool the house down.
Yeah, I got mine on too. So, how it's been? How your week?
Oh, I've been great. I've been, just working and then working on the tank. I have that.
Yeah.
The big tank coming, so I'm just trying to prepare for that. I got a lot of stuff
ready.
to do. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to hear that
Awesome.
things went well for you, Cindy, on some of your initial move.
Yeah, the Mollywood thing happened in one day, and I
Wow.
had a couple corals knocked off their perches, but nothing has died. So nothing has died that wasn't already on the way out because of other corals attacking it. The green hairy mushrooms crawling all over my starburst Montipora, which can't do anything about that because I can't move either one of them. Oh, Mr. DKH says, Calypso, can you put a filter on your phone?
Yes,
He's
sir.
creeped out. I guess he didn't like Smurfs when he was a kid.
I got you.
So how did you transport everything?
Let me see.
We took the coral structures out and put them into a Rubbermaid tote full of water. What I did was I pumped out half the tank water and we hand bombed it because the tote was in the car. And then I pulled out the coral. I carried one, but I could not lift the other one out of the tank. I thought I could do it, but as soon as it escapes the water, it's
like 10 times
suddenly
as heavy.
it was awful. So my husband took that one, and then we topped it up with the rest of the water from the tank. I had no problem catching the fish. Mollies are really easy to catch. And we had the neighbor has a truck, so we wheeled the mechanic stand down the hallway and out into the garage, and it just laid on its back in the truck, and then they wrapped the tank in moving blankets. And I had already taken all the equipment out and cleaned it and got everything ready so that when we got, and I kept the media wet, the Cyperax rings that I had, and the filter pads and things like that. And as soon as we got to the other end, we used the water that was in the tote, put it back in the tank. And I removed all the sand before we started moving it because we couldn't get any help until late in the afternoon. So it was great because I had the whole day to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out well. I mean, I was messing around with it until about 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But in the end, it worked out really well. So it's been a week now, and things are still looking
How
very
many
good.
gallons is Mollywood?
It's an IM 40. So
Okay.
it probably holds 32, I want to say,
Yep. Yep.
by the time you take the displacement for the rocks and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and then we also moved most of the big tank and learned a good lesson the first day because I took out the cave at the back left. I broke the pieces apart, so I got the arch and the bridge rock off, and there's a pile of rocks at the back that's the cave. So the way I did it was I treated it like a water change. So I pumped water out of the sump to put in the tote, so it's tank water. Then I refilled it from the basement with new salt water, just as if it were a water change.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even thinking about it. So I pulled out the rock. I was able to handle it. It wasn't too heavy. Took it out to the garage or the car, put it in the water, and I'm looking at it, trying to get it situated so that nothing was going to fall over and break and whatever. And I go wandering back in, congratulating myself, and the whole tank is full of bubbles. Because of the displacement of the rock, the return pump was running dry.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I had to quick flip the switch again and get more water in there. So, yeah, that was a lesson that was well learned throughout the week as we did the rest of it. So we have one piece left to go, and that's going to be tomorrow. We moved two pieces today. We took 2 trips there and back.
Wow.
And I'm going to run out of space.
Yeah. Well,
And so then you document all this as well, which is impressive to me, right? It's like that's the crazy part to me. Is like
in detail.
it's really impressive that you spend the time and do that.
Oh, thanks.
It's awesome.
We
I'm glad.
appreciate everything.
It makes it worth it because that's part of the fun of it for me, because I set up the tripod and I just go and do what I need to do, and then you watch the footage later, and that's when you see all the stuff like my Aurora goby. I do still have an Aurora goby, and I think I also have a pistol shrimp, because when I moved everything today, I saw the goby. I saw him actually a couple of nights ago, and I got some footage of it, made a little video, and today I know there's pistol shrimp because of all the sand being all over the place, right at the base of the arch that I had moved to get the back cave out on the right-hand side. So I came home and my blasto was almost buried, and I went, there he goes, that's the pistol shrimp.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tricky to get him out. That's the only thing. Because when I pull that piece tomorrow, he's probably going to go and hide under one of the other arches of rock that I have that I just brought in from the rock cooking tote. So, yeah. I don't know.
When I transferred my last tank, the pistol shrimp was literally the last piece of livestock that I found buried in the sand once I was done transferring everything out. That was like, I almost forgot about it at that point, you know?
Yeah.
And then that was like the last thing I found. But I hear the one going off in my tank every once in a while, you know?
Yeah, I haven't heard them in a long time, which is why I thought I had lost them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, twice now we found emerald crabs that hang on till the last minute, and then they drop off just as you're about to put the rocks in the water. And the first one was the first piece we moved, and he was on the carpet in the back of the back hatch of the car. Well, I was trying to get him off, but they stick, and I'm afraid to pull too hard because you don't want to pull his leg off.
Right.
So finally he let go, and I put him in the water. And then when we got to the other end, we poured him out into the tank. And then today it was the same thing with the piece that we brought. I found him in the container that I have the filters in, the canister filters in under the tank. And he was just sitting there, and I went, I have no idea how long this crab has been here. So I reached down, and I was able to get him to crawl on my finger, and I just lifted him up and put him in the tank.
Yeah.
So he could have been there since this morning. I don't know, but anyway, so hopefully he survives. Oh, we got a couple more people here. Hey, Johnny Martinez. Missed you last Saturday. Love your corals. They look beautiful. Thank you, Johnny. I'm hoping you guys enjoy the video when it comes out, because it's oh, there's a lot of stuff that has gone on. Hey, ATF in the house. Going to stack 2 more low-tech tanks. 40 beater for frags, 20 long for live rock. Oh, nice. So, ATF in the house, Alan, how many is that now? I would like to know. That makes me curious.
I like the idea
Taryn's
of.
Little Ocean. Yes, Mollywood is at. Go ahead.
I was just saying, like the low tech tank. Like there's a lot you can get away with in a low tech saltwater tank.
Yep.
It's awesome to have. Like the one I have over in my bedroom. It's just I have literally 4 outlets that runs the whole thing. I don't worry about it, and all the stuff in it does good. So I'm all about that.
Yep. Well, Alan has several, and I like how he stacks them one above the other. He's got a lot of soft corals.
So he like plums them together?
I don't know, honestly.
Oh, okay.
I've never found that out. But I am working on a short video that he's updated me on this last week. Alan, yep, I got your videos, and I've got everything assembled. I just haven't got to it yet. About fragging leathers, and maybe there'll be some more information in that. Yes, Mollywood is at my daughter's house now, Taryn's Little Ocean, and she likes it because it's a small tank and it's bright and colorful. It's easy to look after. I think of Mollywood as a low-tech tank. I mean, it has equipment on it, but it's self-contained. It's one power bar plugged into the wall, and everything is plugged into that power bar. It's neat and tidy. Yeah, I really like it.
Did you say it was an all-in-one style, or was it a sump plumbed?
It's all-in-one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
It's an all-in-one. Joe ATF. Oh, Alan says he picked up a weird-looking green leather today. Ooh, that's always nice. I like the weird ones. Mitch Boudreau just dropped in to say hi to everyone. You all have a great weekend. Stay safe. UFC fights tonight. Sorry, Chase.
No, I'm going to run over to my all-in-one before the lights go out, because they always go out early. So I'll give you guys a quick shot of it. I got a bubble tip anemone in there recently. It's a clown bubble tip tank. So it's Innovative Marine Nuvo 20. So
awesome.
Let me go jog over there. I'll give you guys a quick look.
Okay.
So, Cindy, I have a question. With my Sea Star, do you saw what's going on with it?
Your what?
It started like my Linkia Sea Star.
Oh, the legs coming off?
Yeah, they still alive. They crawling all over the tank.
I have
crazy.
no
idea. I got one right there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's one right there. It's another one right in front of that bumblebee snail. That's another one there.
Yeah.
And they all alive. They're all alive. Like, and the interesting part is that you don't see the part of the center. You don't see nothing of it.
Huh.
So how they alive, I do not understand.
I don't know either.
So I got 3. I think it's 3 left. Because one I think didn't have enough. But yeah, I what I'm thinking is like a survival. I guess move.
Yeah, maybe.
Whatever.
Maybe.
That's all I could think of. Because I've been getting a lot of like temperature swings with the heat.
Yeah, they're really sensitive to water quality and stability, definitely, and salinity. And let's look at what Chase has got going on here. Okay, Chase, you got the screen.
Yeah, just a quick shot. This is, like I said, the little 20-gallon. I just traded some frags. I got this bubble tip from a guy local around me. So it was pretty cool. Like the first day I put it in, the clowns went right in it, and
nice.
They've been hanging out. So I recently put more cleanup crew in here too. Of course, I mean this tank was up and running. It had just the clowns in it, and a few snails for probably 4 or 5 months. And then once the algae phases kind of got through with, then I added some more cleanup crew and the bubble tip. So just a quick shot of that.
Looking nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
What kind of tan is that?
It's the 50-50 blend.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the half black, half white. I don't know. I think it's Carib Sea.
Yep.
I just wanted to try it out because I was just interested in the black sand.
It looks nice.
So.
I like it.
The urchin likes to carry around the. It seems like he grabs. I don't know. Maybe I'm just what I'm seeing, but it seems like he really prefers the black pieces of sand to carry around for some reason. But
camouflage.
Yeah, I don't know if that's better camo or protection or what, but yeah,
probably.
It's kind of interesting. Seems
that's like penetration, I guess. Yeah.
That's hilarious. John Blue Carbon Reefing says he was at his LFS today. Their tanks are looking pretty bare. They're starting to struggle getting dry goods as well. Yeah, I don't. My LFS is doing really well getting stuff in and posting regularly on Instagram. And I did take a bunch of stuff there the other day, and that's when I picked up the Acanthophilia. So I guess it varies depending where you are, right?
Yeah, I think so too. Depending on how much money they're willing to invest. I would think
there's that too.
Because he told me my LFS, the owner, he said that like things are a little bit more pricey now. So
yeah,
some people want to spend the money. Some people, trying to save the money, save a buck.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, got something going on in the comments about a heater. Let me just check what's going on here. Oh, I'm getting way behind. Sorry, guys.
Nice and
Whoa,
simple.
there's a super chat.
Like
okay.
Yeah.
Let me.
Top off, heater, return. Yeah. That's pretty much
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I have a MP10 there. It's the stock one that comes with the innovative marine tanks, the Mighty Jet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get rid of any J-Bow equipment in my tank. No more. I'm done. It's the first time I go through one, just basically dying on me, and I don't want to wait for it to happen.
It only takes that one bad experience.
I got a return pump that is J-Bow. Yeah. I got a J-Bow on return pump, and I also got the PP8s in the frac tank, and nope, I don't want to wait for that. Because right now I don't have a spare return pump for the Twin Cities, so.
Yeah, I've always had really good luck with them, so maybe my luck will run out. I don't know. And
it's crazy because I just posted that video on those Waymaker not too long ago when I was switching the regular what is it, the high doors. So guess what? The high doors are back in the tank.
Yep.
And
I
those
use a lot of
doors,
those.
I've been with them for like 5 years or more.
Yep.
And they haven't died. So.
Yeah. Hey, Robert Poorman. Yes, I do shut the skimmer off for a short period when I dose Microbacter. You're supposed to, but mainly because if I don't, the skimmer goes crazy. So I try to avoid that. There's Billy Pipes. Hey, Billy.
Billy! You saw his truck? He got a nice pickup truck. Makes you want to get one.
Truskills 710. Haha, I made a live stream. Nice. Oh, and Murphy says that it's not just him. He went to buy a swimming pool pump and they're out also. Yeah, I guess maybe it depends on where you are too. Everybody's saying hi. I don't want to miss anybody. We can relate. What do you do when you run out of tank space and frag space? You add more tanks. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You set up a new one.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was trying to use the excuse my boy is shutting down he's getting out of the hobby, so I could put a new tank. They don't know
and they're talking about 3D printing and MTS. Oh, ATF in the house. 6 Reef, 8 fresh. Oh boy. We had 9 fresh at one time. And that was
wow.
That was the max. That was it. Well, and
how many
actually
gallons? Different
it was about 800 gallons altogether. 9 different tanks.
Wow.
And that's a lot of water
Yes,
to do
it
water
is.
changes, because we did pretty much weekly water changes on those things.
Wow.
A lot of
That's all
cleaning,
we ever
too.
did. Well, if you do frequent water changes and vacuum the sand, it's not so bad. It does keep up with it, definitely.
Wow, you got it.
Hey,
That's
Vicky
insane.
Seymour. Whoa! Chimp the Reefer, thank you for the super chat. I saw it pop up a while ago. I appreciate that. Yes, the move is going better than I have any right to expect. And the
Nice.
challenge is going to be keeping everything alive once it's there. There's many challenges. There's dosing, there's water changes, there's lighting, because I have that brace across the middle of the 90. And yeah, it's going to be interesting
Yeah.
to see what happens there. Vicky Seymour, I said hi. I don't want to miss anybody. Oh, there's Click Clacks Reef. How's it going?
Quicks.
Saying hi to everybody. Wow.
So, Hector, how's your alkalinity doing, man?
Still, I got a new dosing pump, so dosing pump, a new ATO. I gotta install it. Being lazy, I got it last Monday, but after waiting for it for like a month.
Yeah.
So now I got it, but I'm still getting those swings. My boy Straight Reefer, he's in the chat. He I show him how I do the test, and like in every other day, and he saw how much it dropped, and it dropped by 10, basically.
Wow.
But I don't know. I think it's the evaporation altogether. Going on in that with that ATO is a J-Bow ATO, so I think that's the problem. Because I dose the same amount of cold water in both tanks, so I don't think it's the amount of corals in it. Because I think I got in both systems, I got about the same.
It's a mystery.
But yeah,
talking...
I'm gonna put the ATO in, and we go from there and see.
Yeah, just keep watching it.
Makes a change. But also, what I'm thinking is, because since in the twin series, the Sump, the return pump, it's a small volume, so when water evaporates, the ATO feed it right away. On the frac tank, it's a 10-gallon, so it got all that surface to evaporate first before the ATO goes on. So,
yeah,
I think that's the problem, since I don't got no baffles here. So all this water got to evaporate, drop, so then the ATO go on. So I think that's where I got the problem. So I'll probably either connect my other Sump to this one, or just buy another 10-gallon, the $1 per gallon, and do this section with a baffle.
Yeah, just baffle it.
Yeah. So I see, and right there I will tell the difference. If the smallest section evaporating and the ATO going on more often, that's gonna help with the alkalinity.
Yeah, that's the exact problem I had with the 90, the holding tank. I thought a high door smart level would work. Yeah. But it didn't, because it's like 18 by 48. Yeah. And that had to drop 3/4 of an inch before anything happened.
4 gallons which is later.
It's true.
Yeah. So it's going to be challenging. I think that's exactly what's going on with this one. So
hey, Vicky, nice to see you. Water
evaporates, corals are consuming the alkalinity too fast.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's too irregular. I mean, that's the whole idea. Is to make it consistent, right?
Consistent, yeah.
And that's what I like about using the little Camor, the Dripping Pro, is every 2 hours it gets 10 milliliters of the kalkwasser. So throughout the day, and so it doesn't respond to anything except time and volume, and that's it. No other factors. It's working really well.
That's good.
Somebody in the chat, I'm just looking, I think Twins Reef had a heater blow up on them.
Oh, wow.
Jeez. And I want to see what kind of heater. Oh, there we go. Twins Reef. Hi, Twins Reef. Yesterday I woke up, cobalt heater went bad, cooked my tank to... Oh, no. Lost my... Yes. brought the temp down. Water's cloudy. Should I do a water change or leave the tank how it is? I would do a water
Definitely,
change and
yeah.
throw some carbon in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you got death going on, and you want to get whatever substances in the water out.
Yeah.
I would say.
And toxins and
Man, that sounds like a
Bio.
nightmare.
yes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Oof, I don't want to experience that.
That's the one thing that scares me the most.
Have you guys
is the
ever had
heater.
a big heater failure? I've never had
I-
one. I've had heaters go out and I've had to replace them, but I've never had like.
I've
just-
never had it happen. I'm whispering, so my can't
So-
can't hear me.
Yeah.
It's because it's just up the stairs. I don't want it to hear me.
I switched my main one to one of the titanium ones
Titanium.
recently because
Mhm.
I've historically run the Eheim, the glass ones.
Mhm.
I mean, I still do. I still have them, you know. But my main one that's heating the tank right now is one of the titanium ones. I don't know if I don't know.
I have three. I have three titanium. I have a 100-watt in Mollywood. I just take the guards off because it's in the back
Yep.
chamber. Nothing's gonna attack it or knock it around. So it's just the tube, and I have a 500-watt in the 90, the holding tank, and I run it on a Pony Eye controller because it has no thermostat.
Yeah.
So the controller turns it on and off based on the temperature probe, right? It works the same as an Inkbird, but it only costs $25. And
Nice.
it's an off-brand, and I think it was ReefKeeper that I first heard, or maybe Reef Spy. I don't remember. One of those guys had it, so I bought one. And then in the big tank, the 425, I have two heaters. One's a Fluval E300, and it has a temperature display. I love that thing. And the backup, that's the backup, and the main heater is a Finex titanium 300 watt.
Mm.
And again, I just took the guard off because it just gets gunked up.
Yeah.
I really like them, but it has an inline thermostat. So or a little controller, like you turn the dial and there's a green light and a red light, and when the heat is on, the red light turns on. So you
Yep.
can control it, and it's mounted in the cabinet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that happened to me was the cable going bad. I got shot.
Oh wow.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, heater out. Yeah, I kept feeling that. I said, what the heck is going on with this water? It never happened to me before. And I started checking different until I got to the heater. Once I got to the heater, the cable was bad.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
got lucky, I guess.
That's.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of those things you just don't know when it's going to happen. That's.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Acro Breeder. Nice to see you. Twins Reef is going to look into the Eheim heaters. Yeah, I'm gonna go titanium from now on because there's so little to go wrong.
Yeah.
It's a metal tube. It's got it's got rubber seals at both ends, heavy duty cord. There's some come with controllers like I have, not a controller, a thermostat like I have. Others just come as a heater and you have to use an external controller, which is fine.
Yeah. What I would say
Yeah, I
about
haven't tried those.
the Eheims, I've used the Eheims for the last 8 years, and I've probably purchased. I mean, granted, I have a lot of different tanks, so I've probably purchased 6 or 7 over that time span, and I think 2 or 3 of them like died on me within a few years. They just wouldn't heat anymore. Didn't cause any problem to the tank other than they weren't heating. But the other ones have been reliable for me. So, I mean, it's definitely, they're like low on the cost end, but I would recommend just looking into the titanium because it's not that much more expensive, and they're supposed to be a little bit more reliable. So just my 2 cents on that.
Well, the glass ones that I've had, on more than one occasion, you can see condensation inside the tube. And that always worries me. And as soon as I saw that, I just couldn't use it anymore. Couldn't detect any leaks or cracks or anything. But just that little bit of cloudiness inside of the tube just makes me worried.
Yeah.
And But with the
Yeah,
titanium,
you start getting these air bubbles on inside.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I
because
had
where
that happen too.
the cord has to go in the top, and the thermos or the dial is around it or near it. So there's always that point of vulnerability where it could,
Mm-hmm.
crack or.
Yep, yep.
Cubal's Reef got a BioCube 16 and 10 gallon converted into a 30. All livestock survive. Awesome. That's what you like
Nice.
to see. Oh,
You know
and
what?
Twins Reef is talking about the coral that he lost. That's really too bad.
All right, let's
Um,
work.
Yeah.
I get this itchiness when I want to do something and I get the idea, I gotta start doing it. If I don't do it, I'm
Yeah.
getting that black bin that I had before, used as a sump. I'm gonna set it up so I could put a baffle on that 10-gallon tank. Oh man.
DIY on the fly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
Um,
gotta come to the
hey
basement
Chase.
and
Yeah.
Hey Chase, do you use an Neptune ATO? Johnny Martinez has a question about
I don't. No, I don't use
ATO
an
Neptune
Apex.
Oh, don't you?
No, I don't.
use
That's
the
so
Apex.
nice. So nice to hear.
Right, Chase, you the Apex, like me.
Yeah, I used to
I'm
have
the
a
Apex.
I used to have the Digital Aquatics brand, that went out of business a few years ago,
Yeah.
and I used it for basic functions, just pH probe, temp probe, on and off light schedules, on and off pump schedules. I used that for about 6 years, and I just recently took it off because the probes just got they were giving me readouts, but I wasn't trusting them or using them to control anything. So even with recalibration, I replaced both the temp and pH probe several times over those years, and I just wasn't getting much utility out of it. And nowadays with DC equipment and stuff, a lot of stuff comes with its own controller, and so it's more easy to separate from full automation systems like the Apex, but that's not to say they don't have a lot of utility and use. I just don't find that I need it on my mind.
You know what I'm starting to wonder about those things is, are they all or nothing? So if you're all in, that's how you get the best experience from them.
Yeah.
Or is it that you can get one and use it for a couple of functions, but then why would you spend all that money if there's another way you can do it and you only want it for a couple of functions? I don't know.
I will say that, coming from somebody, I've never had an Apex, so I don't know how great it would be if I had one. I might be like, wow, I should have. Sorry, my pump's going crazy. I did some water changes today. But I get a little turned off by the Apex with all the modules and just kind of the cost, if they had an all-in-one system for their their $800 system, if that gave you some of the modular options, or most of the modular options, then I'd be like, hey, I don't know. It just turns me off a little bit.
I think sometimes too, I get the feeling that the product literature relies too much on people getting information from other users on forums. Because when you have, the Senai, I looked into that because I wanted a power meter and I thought, well, it does other stuff too. It might be a good thing to get. And this is a couple of years ago now. Maybe it's changed at this point. But reading through the literature, it kept talking about slides. Slide soaker this, slides. Well, but nowhere did it say how the thing actually worked. That you open it up, you put in the slide, but first you got to soak the... It was so little information on the actual practical directions. Now, I suppose I could have looked for the product manual and maybe learned a little bit more, but I was just kind of doing some light research and cruising through some of the vendors just to see what reviews said about it and all that kind of thing. But there was so much information I didn't understand. Now I
Yeah.
probably would understand it, but back then I didn't. And I sometimes think the manufacturers feel like everybody goes on forums and chats with all their friends about it, and that's how they learn. Well, that's not really me. So maybe I'm an anomaly when it comes to that, but I just feel like it's too complicated. Like, why does it have to be so complicated? You get
Yeah.
$1,000 worth of equipment
For the money
and
we're
then,
paying.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, and then you get it, and it's like, oh, I should have spent another $200 on that. I can't do anything unless I buy that thing. Like, no.
Yeah. I wish there was. I'm hoping maybe. I'm always hoping in the reef hobby that there's a little bit of a culture shift in that regard.
Mhm.
Like, I think saltwater. The saltwater hobby is kind of known as like a more expensive thing to do, and
Mhm.
um, I don't think it necessarily needs to be that way. Although I understand some of it, but I think I wish there was a little bit of a culture change in that regard. Like, hey, if you're going
Yeah.
to charge us these premium amounts of money,
Mhm.
like $800 for a Radeon light that I buy in 2019, it should have all of the capabilities. It should
Yeah.
be, I shouldn't be able to buy a Chinese off-label brand that has Wi-Fi capability and has a built-in app that can control it,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
buy this premium light and not have those services. So I just think
Yeah.
there needs to be a little shift. I think people get really excited about having the new and best stuff, and I'm glad there's so much new products, but
Yeah.
I think there's
Come
a little
on.
bit of a
You
gap
have
there.
this expensive light, but you have to pay another $100 to get the thing to actually run it. Come
Yeah.
on.
I have two
Like,
of them.
really?
I mean, I
Yeah.
paid for them, but it's
Yeah,
just
I know.
ah.
So Johnny, if somebody hasn't answered this already, is the thing actually not turning off, or is it just that the water keeps flowing? Because you could have a siphon. This happened to me the very first time I set up an ATO, because the container in which I had the water and where the hose went in was higher than the place that I had the output into the chamber of the sump. And even when the pump shut off, the siphon was still going. So maybe it's something like that. You should always have the water container lower than everything else, so that and hang the pump up high so that it can't create a siphon. Once the pump stops pumping, the water will go back into the container, and both ways. The end that is distributing the water into your tank shouldn't be underwater. It should be above the water. Maybe it's something as simple as that, why it's not shutting off. I mean, maybe it has nothing to do with the apex. It could just be the positioning of the container of water.
Yeah,
It's
that
happened to
happens.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are talking about that.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but that ATO thing kind of reminds me of another point. Like, I've heard a lot of people say, like, hey, like, sometimes you can't rely on like the Apex ATO system, like the whatever system they have, or sometimes you can't rely on this about this high-end equipment. And I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
man, like,
Yeah,
I'm glad I
I
paid
know.
several $100s for it.
Yeah. I had a really long argument once with a guy on Facebook on a reefing group. And it descended to personal insults, which is why I don't like to get into arguments with people, because a lot of people don't know how to debate properly. And when they can't make a good argument, they start calling you names.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's why I don't often get into arguments. But he basically said, if I'm away on a trip and my skimmer starts overflowing, all I have to do is turn on my Apex or open the app and turn off my skimmer, and then it all stops. And I said, okay, but you're still 2 hours from home. If that happens to me, I don't know about it, and I enjoy whatever it is I'm doing. My skimmer's overflowing, but it's in my sump, and I get home and my skimmer's overflowed into my sump, and maybe it has been all the whole time I'm gone. But when you get home, you still got skimmate in your sump, so maybe I got more than you, but we still have to clean up the same mess, and I have $1,500 more in my bank account. But
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing that it is, right? And these guys are always putting posts up about, oh yeah, I had an alarm and then I got I checked a couple things and they said the opposite, so I just dismissed the alarm and then I got up in the morning and the water was all over the floor. And I'm going, like, you guys are always looking at your phone instead of actually looking at your tank. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I will
There's
never understand
definitely two sides to automation, that's for sure.
it. I'm not against it. I just think the technology isn't reliable enough. The stakes are too high with what we're doing. Look at Hector go.
Yeah, he's going at it.
He's solving that problem.
Today was a maintenance day
Good
for
for
me.
him.
I spent probably 4 hours throughout the day just doing water changes, cleaning glass,
Yeah.
just doing different
Feels
stuff.
good, doesn't
But
it?
it does, yeah, it does. So it's nice
Yeah, I like days like that.
the way I have my system set up and plumbed to the sump. I can isolate each tank that's plumbed into it and still have the others running and the sump running. So
Right.
like I have the 90-gallon refugium. So I shut that off today, kept the rest of the system running, and I just spent like an hour or two cleaning all the walls, getting all the
Yeah.
it's meant to grow algae, but I still cleaning algae out of it as well. Harvesting the caulerpa, I did like 14-gallon water change. Took my time with that, and then just turned the pump back on. It started plumbing back into the rest of the system, and then I worked on the frag tank. The frag tank's been an interesting experience for me because it's my first acrylic tank. It's 1 inch thick acrylic, and so I'm learning how to clean acrylic and how to manage kind of all of that. And I found my best two tools are, well, I love having like the long gloves. You have to have like elbow deep gloves at least if you have an aquarium, I feel like. So having a long set of gloves and then just like a credit card. And then I love using the magic eraser, like the Mr. Clean magic eraser.
Oh yeah.
That like really polishes acrylic well. It makes it like crystal clear. So just those two, but it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I love the magic erasers. That's what I always used in Mollywood.
Yeah.
And they do a great job. Well, as long as you get the original ones that don't have the chemicals or cleansers in them.
Yeah. So I'll go over to I'll do show you some frag tank shots. I did some.
Nice.
I brought some
Good night,
zoos over there
Vicky.
from the main
Thanks.
tank.
Thanks for stopping in, Vicky. Have a good sleep. Yeah, Johnny looks like he's got some ideas to check into.
Turn the pumps off here. I turned my UV back to 24 hours a day, Cindy, because I was getting just the slightest little bacteria films going on in the frag tank.
Oh,
And because I had turned
Yeah.
it down to 12 hours. But I was also listening to a live stream today, and I was thinking about maybe just shutting the UV off for a few hours a day in terms of the bacteria in the water and just kind of giving them a little time unhindered to colonize, reproduce, and do their thing. The guy was referencing protein skimmers, but I kind of thought maybe UV would have the same issue if you ran it 24/7. He was saying people running their protein skimmers 24/7 are really skimming out a lot of bacteria, and that you should run a few hours a day at least without your protein skimmer on to allow the bacteria a little time to do their thing.
I totally agree. If you're dosing it, you should allow it time to settle. Someone had Robert Poorman had that question about whether I shut off my skimmer when I'm dosing Microbacter 7, and yes, but mainly because it goes crazy if I don't. But it's true, there's no sense skimming it right back out again. You have to give it time to settle, but I still think the beneficial bacteria that lives in your tank most of the time is on the surfaces. So if it does get into the water, like even if there's a slight haze, you might not even be able to detect it, but it could affect the amount of light that gets through the water. So yeah, it's one of those things. I think you really have to keep an eye on your tank and sort of play it by ear based on what's actually going on.
Yeah, I'm still experimenting a little with the UV. It's a new tech for me, so but I have it on 24/7 back again now for the last few days. I'm gonna try to get a little bit of white light in here. If you'll bear with me.
Yep.
Just got to figure out what buttons control my stuff.
Oh look, it actually let me upload a video of Mollywood that I took today. So when things slow down a little bit, I'll show you guys what it looks like after a week.
Sorry, hold on 1 second.
Nano Joe says, magic eraser, toothbrushes, and turkey basters. What other household items can we use in the reefs? I can tell you one, a really good one actually, is a utensil that came in a set. And it's like a spatula. If you took a spatula and put a right angle on the end of it, I don't know what it's for. Maybe flipping pancakes? No idea. But I use it to move large corals around, things like my large Symphilia buster or the Cinerinas, because I can reach down and push it under the coral and then kind of tilt it back like a refrigerator cart, if you like, and move them around places on the sand. I would never try and pull it out of the tank or or take it very far, but just to rearrange things a little bit or reorganize where things are. It has been a godsend. It's stainless steel, so of course as soon as I pull it out I rinse it and I dry it. But I've used that thing so many times. I never ever used it in any cooking because I don't know what it's for, but it has really come in handy with the reef. I don't even know what it's called. Right angle spatula?
That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, small toilet bowl brush works great in my skimmer. Yep. Bottle brush.
Oh, that's a good call.
Yep. Terran's Little Ocean runs my UV 24/7 and skimmer. Yeah. Nano Joe says he's never seen any negative effects of UV going 24/7. Robert Poorman says Microbacter 7 lives on surfaces, but Microbacter Clean lives in the water column. Yeah, and those are substances that you would add to your tank. So I don't know whether there's something that occurs in nature that's the same as that you would be removing from your water when you shouldn't, or whether that is just a specific product that's created to address a certain problem. You know what I mean? So again, I guess you have to play it by ear. Hey David L. Dramedy is here. Things are looking nice in there, Chase.
Thank you. I've actually noticed some of the SPS I moved over here. It's just hard to tell with the blue light now. I'm sorry. I again with the Radions, I'd have to plug into them, go in, program them to get you guys some whiter light here. I mean, it's ridiculous that that's the case. I can't go on my phone and change them, but holding out for Mobius and the on the G-Force here. But anyway, I've noticed the SPS in this tank or on this rack have actually gotten better color than what's in my display tank for the same corals. Like
really,
like I have the big coral kind of in the left bottom corner there is the Miyagi tort.
Okay.
Again, you really can't see the colors too well on it. Let's see.
Is that like a green with purple tips?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I have a huge one. Well, mine isn't so huge anymore because I trimmed it back radically today to move the reef pieces. So it's gonna have to grow back.
So I think it's also the one that Amro like had up in his tank that he like moved down lower and it recolored for him.
Yes.
I think that was the same species. But anyways, so having not done any part tests, I don't know if it's getting a little bit lower light, but I've also noticed these other frags that I've moved in here recently from the display. They've just gotten kind of better polyp extension and better colors right here in the frag section.
Oh.
So I've also recently moved some other frags in here, just seeing if I can get them looking a little better.
And it's all plumbed together.
It's all together, yeah. So I'm not sure if they just like the light and the flow a little better in here, or you know, we'll see. But it kind of makes me a little hopeful for the transfer.
Yeah.
I'm not so worried about moving stuff in here. Waiting for getting that other tank. So,
any updates on that, timelines or anything like that?
Timeline not solid, other than the last thing I heard was because I finalized all the paperwork and everything, and so my order is in queue for production, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that would have been 2 weeks ago, right? Because we weren't here last week.
Yeah, and I still took about another week finalizing the paperwork and just making sure everything was good. And so it's been just about a week now since I submitted that, but I haven't heard anything additional from them other than just confirming that they got that and that they're. But I've been hard at work. I got some big milestones done on the next build. So I went under my house and reinforced all the floor joists for the new tank.
Oh, wow.
And that was one of the hardest jobs I've done. My crawl space is about 1.5 feet. And so I was just basically laying down there, hauling cinder blocks and jacks for the 4 different jacks for the floor. And I had to army crawl about 40 to 50 feet each time I was hauling stuff in. So it was just like, I was like, why am I doing this? But I was just thinking it's for the tank. So
yeah.
Got it done.
It's amazing what we do for the tank. I got up at 7:30 this morning so that we could make 2 trips to move the reef. I am not a morning person, and it was not easy.
Yeah.
Hey, Fletcher, right? Nice to see you.
There was just times where I was like, why am I doing this? But I felt really good having it done, just feeling like, having that reassurance that the floor is really well secured. So
yeah. Well, we took a visit to our new house, and anyone who watched to the very, very end of my Moving the Reef prequel video will have had a sneak peek of my fish room.
Yeah, I saw that.
We went into the basement. We were able to do that, and we looked at the supporting walls that they've built, and the footings are there. And the walls are there, and now I get a much better sense of how much space I'm going to have for a sump. And the decisions we made about where to put electrical outlets, we actually put them on the stud walls, the support walls, so they're closer to the tank. So I think that was a good decision. So yeah, it's coming along surprisingly quickly, but it'll reach a point where we won't see anything happening because it'll all be inside. Nice to see, though.
Yeah. So I got that done. I started building the stand and the canopy. So it's still a work in progress out here, but that's kind of going up.
So is your canopy going to be really high, or how are you planning to do that? Is it going to be right on the tank and you're going to lift it up, or what are your plans for that?
From personal experience, I don't like to have them right on the tank, even though I think it's nice in terms of keeping the light spill down.
Yeah.
Sorry for the shot of my leg there. But I just like having like kind of open access to the tank because love it or hate it, I'm in there pretty often, just messing with stuff. So I like to have the canopy raised up. So just kind of like these two tanks, I have them hanging off the ceiling, and they're just like, these ones are pretty simple, just wood, wood bordered canopies, and then I have structures in there to hold the lights. Same with this one over here. So it kind of follows that similar form factor, but I made it a lot nicer than these two in terms of how I built it. I did some aluminum framing in there for the actual light fixtures and stuff. So
nice.
So it came out pretty good. I'm gonna have the lights about 10 inches off the water. And the way I built it out, it's kind of outfitted for at least the 2 radions I have, and I'm debating what I'm going to add in the future, but that's what I'm going to start with.
Right. Nice. I think my next build, well, my new build, for the first time ever, I'll have a canopy. And I, like yours, I really like the sleek look of a band around the light. It just kind of finishes everything off.
Yeah.
So rather than have an enclosed hood that goes right down to the tank and then you have to lift it up, and I agree. I'm in and out of there so often in the course of a day, and even taking the lid off. There are some times when a few days will go by because I'm too lazy to take the lid off.
Yep.
And then I say to myself, how hard can it be? You take the feed doors out, you lift it up, you let it drip off on the mat, and set it aside, and you're done, right? And then you can do the things you want to do. So because of having that lid, it made me realize that if I have a canopy, it's going to have to be up off the water, because I don't want to have yet another thing that I have to manipulate in order to do something in the tank.
Yeah, I wish evaporation and fish jumping wasn't a problem, because I absolutely loathe lids of any kind, nets, glass, whatever it is. I just wish it wasn't there, but they do have their benefit. So
yeah, well, mine's going to be Euro braced, and I'm hoping that it'll minimize the need for a lid. I'm not going to discount it entirely, but we'll see.
I don't have any lids on my current tanks other than the refugium, just for evaporation. I don't go in there very often. But the frag tank, I'd have to get something. I'd have to either custom build something or have it built for me, and I just don't want to do that. And I've never had anything on this tank that I'm showing right now. But the one I ordered, for pretty cheap. It comes with custom lids on it, so give those a shot and see how I like them. But I can imagine myself probably having at least one of them kind of open at least somewhat all the time, because you're feeding or you're doing whatever.
And you know what? You do get salt creep on them. You do have to wash them, and they do interfere with the light. So you do have to take them into consideration when you're setting the lights. Yeah, Johnny Martinez says, Chase V, I tip my hat to you. I also been under houses like that when I was working. One time headbuster when a snake came out to greet me. That would not be fun.
It was awful. But the only saving grace in my case when I got under there, I basically taped myself up in a hazmat type scenario, and I went under there just expecting, spiders and different stuff that I have to deal with. And I literally did not see one bug, one ant, one anything. And there wasn't any moisture under my house, which I was also appreciative of. So that was kind of like best case scenario in that regard. But it was just, you're trying to do work laying down. It's just difficult.
Yeah.
But
it's really hard on your neck and shoulders.
Yeah, your neck especially.
Yeah. Thank you, Johnny Martinez. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. And I really appreciate you being here every week. I really missed doing this last week, It just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Look at Hector go.
I know,
I'm
he's
just
working
gonna-
hard over there.
I'm going to put him up full screen. Look, he's got this tank empty.
So is he changing his whole sump
it
right
isn't
now?
empty, he's just pulled it out. No, I think he's adding another compartment that he's going to use for his ATO so that he can control have a less water.
So he's just adding a baffle
like
to his existing sump.
Yeah, I don't know if he's using he had a black bucket. I'm not sure what he's doing with that.
Huh. Man, he's got a few tanks over there.
He's looking at us. Yeah, he's got himself muted. He looked at us. He hears us talking about him.
But so the next thing I'm working on.
Why don't I play? Go ahead.
I was just saying the next thing I'm working on the stand and the setup, because I have a few months now probably till I get the tank, but I'm gonna plumb some hard plumbing that kind of attaches to the stand, so that when I get the tank here and I put it up there, I'm able to attach it to the existing system with all soft plumbing. I can just attach everything at that point, but
right.
all the hard plumbing and the valves and everything will be in place. So I'm hoping that goes smoothly. We'll see, but that's kind of another big project I have to get done.
It's a great way to use the time while you're waiting. Oh, and I guess I have big news because my Red Sea Reefer is sold.
Oh, nice.
Yep, I can't remember if I told you guys this, but my husband suggested that if I wasn't going to use the tank again, which I probably wasn't, I should sell it. And he suggested to sell it from the house here instead of emptying it and moving it to storage and then moving it to the new house and then selling it, and in the process paying to move it a couple times. He suggested just charge a really good price and have someone come here and pick it up. So that's what's going to happen. And
nice.
So I posted it on Kijiji and I posted it on the fragtank.ca, and it was sold in 6 hours.
Good for you.
So that is really a load off my mind, because as soon as I have it empty, they're going to come and pick it up, and we don't have to worry about moving it. And I know that someone will get it that wants it. They're not just picking it up for a couple of $100 because it's cheap, So yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Johnny says he learns many secrets from you and your awesome reefers out there. That's what these streams are about. All the chatting that's gone on tonight about a whole bunch of different things. I really like watching the replays and being able to read the chat and understand the conversations that are going on.
Yeah, that's the biggest bummer about being in the video stream, is you missed out on the chat a bit.
Yeah, the only way to do it is to have another device going. Oh, that's pretty right there. Wow, that's got a whole bunch of colors in it. That torch there, the one to the right, is that a torch?
That one there, yeah.
Wow. Oh, I see. It's the tips are green. It looks like it's a black torch with green tips.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of really nice magenta sort of reflecting off of it. That looks really pretty.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit more of the filter, but anyway.
Justin Washington says, nice coloration, tank looks good. Hey, Justin.
Thanks, Justin. Yep, it's doing well. I'm just gearing up for this transfer, but The frag tank is really settled in, so I'm happy about that. I don't know what to do with this mushroom rock. I'm like, I'm starting to see little babies kind of throughout, like in the corners of the tanks. So I know it's so crowded that it's like bailing out at this point. I don't know if I should just take it out and like cut it in half and like take half to the LFS, and then I just don't know.
Yeah, it's over the years there have been so many corals I've had that I've absolutely loved, and then what ends up happening is they overgrow, or they start to deteriorate, or there's just no space for them anymore in what you want, like how you want to use them, and ultimately you end up giving them up. And when I look back at some of my videos, I remember things like my cantaloupe-sized colony of Palithoa grandis that I absolutely loved, and I don't even have it anymore. And my giant toxic green cabbage leather that I took to an LFS because I had never seen anything like it before. It was that color, that green that you have on the screen right now, and it was a cabbage leather. And even without blue light on it, it was still that color. It was just amazing. And I wonder whether we just, I guess it's like when you decorate your house, you know, your tastes change after a while. And you love something for a very long time, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, I don't love it so much anymore, you know?
Yeah. I think coral tastes definitely change over time, but
yeah.
But I still like everything I have, you know, like like I go through phases, but if I see something of one of my old phases, like I'll go back to it if it's good looking, you know.
Mhm.
I got some bad news. I don't know if you guys can see there. Skeleton of a clam.
Oh, that's too bad. This was the Maxima that you got, or the Giga?
That's the Maxima.
Oh.
Yeah. The Hippopas I got in the same shipment with it, it's doing awesome. It's always wide open and doing its thing, but yeah, that one, it was doing okay, and then overnight one night it was totally gone.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. So.
Well, I got up the nerve to move Stanley over to the other tank, and he's doing very well. And today, when we put the 40-pound center pillar in, my husband had to do it, I couldn't. He reached a point where he was holding it over the tank and about to put it, like to let it go down, and he couldn't, his back was going to give out. That's how heavy this thing was. So I had to reach down and guide the bottom of it and move it back, otherwise it would have crushed poor Stanley because I thought I had him moved out of the way. So we didn't hurt Stanley. He's still okay. I'm glad to report. I would have felt horrible. Oh, that's pretty. Look at the purple rim on that. Come here, old kid. So nice to finally have a stream without a bunch of drunk yahoos causing a no-fun. Well, I could drink, but you wouldn't enjoy it because you probably wouldn't like to hear me slur my words.
Hey, Cindy, I'm going to step away for just a minute. Excuse me.
Sure. Yep. Let's get Hector up here again. Look at him, just working away. Hey, Hector, if you're talking, you need to unmute your mic.
Oh, yes, now we are.
Thank you.
So,
hey, Mo Reefs. So, did you get it all done?
Yeah, we just swapped the sump. So now I got to create a baffle for this one, and that's it.
Right.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. What the hell?
Holy crap. Yep. If
Hey,
I don't do
Will's
it now,
Aquarium.
I'm never gonna do it.
Well, I know what you mean. Alex Reyes, is Stanley your Midas? No, Stanley is my Crocea clam. Cue Ball's Reef wants to hire you, Hector.
Oh, for real? Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Will's
When I get
Aquarium.
when I get things in my head, I gotta get them done. If not, if not,
Not
I'll
like
be laying in bed, and then it gets in my head again, and I gotta get up, no matter the time, and start doing it at that time. That's how bad it gets.
not like me, where I dither and dither and dither for a week, worrying about everything that's going to go wrong, and then it's so easy, I'm kicking myself.
No, I just had a little water spill right there, all over those cables.
Oh dear.
Yeah, the union was loose. It happens.
Well, yeah. Well, at the holding tank, one of the power heads is on the right-hand side, and all of the power bars are on the left-hand side. So I had to run an extension cord across the front of the tank, and plug it into the power bar on the boards on the left. So the plug for the extension cord is right at the front, and it's kind of hanging down about a foot of inside the right, like it's right out front. So I took a piece of paper and folded it in half and tented it over top of this plug, because I suddenly thought, oh my God, we're lifting all these heavy rocks, dripping water and slime. And I could just imagine it, no drip loop. It would have been straight into the plug, right?
Oh,
That's hilarious.
No good. Yeah, I go crazy like this, and I start doing things. Now I need let's see if I can find something in this mess for one of these two boxes. I need a 1 inch, either 45 or 1 inch just coupling. So let's see. All right, let me see where I can put you guys so you guys watch. Maybe on top of this bike.
Dude, that's funny. I have like so much plumbing. I don't even know what I have.
Yeah, me too. So, but I know they're inside those two boxes. I don't know. Hopefully, it's not the bottom one. Hopefully not. Hopefully, it's in the top one. Because I still got to move that bin out of there. And the bin got another box in top. And yeah, you get the memo. It's a mess. So, bear with me. Give me 1 sec.
Well, I get to empty my fish room cabinets this week. And this is where you find all that stuff that you were looking for and you couldn't find it, so you bought another one.
Yep.
So, yeah. Oh, good night, everyone. Blue Carbon Reefing says, good night, everyone. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. He's getting up extra early to fish tomorrow morning. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for coming by, John, and have a great day tomorrow. Happy Father's Day. Awesome. I can show you guys my video if you want, because I did upload a video of Mollywood today. Oh, we lost Chase. There. I just muted Hector's mic just because of the rustling. Here, I'll show you. Mollywood 1 week later looks fabulous. Still some work to do in here. I had to move the purple candy cane because up here it was attacking the rastas. So hopefully I got it out of there soon enough. And it's a little angry, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I put the Symphilia here. It was covered in bubble algae, so I cleaned it off and then treated it with hydrogen peroxide. And I moved the bounce mushroom here too. So we'll see if it actually develops any bounces again. I may be the only person on Earth who's ever reversed a bounce mushroom. I don't know. Okay, so you guys tell me in the chat, what was the quality like of that? It looked really horrible on my screen. Oh, there's Chase back again. Hey, Chase.
Hey, guys. It was not the greatest quality.
Q-Balls. Yeah, okay. So whatever I was doing to upload the videos, I have not solved the problem. Thank you. Cue Balls Reef, good night. New build vid coming soon. Awesome. I look forward to seeing that.
Nice. Yeah, I got to start thinking about the aquascape for mine. What I need to get going for that.
Do you have kind of an idea what you want?
I know what I don't want.
That's a start.
Yeah, but I haven't. I've been so tied up with other things that I haven't started thinking about that in detail yet. But kind of like we talked about before, like I know I want to avoid some of the kind of vertical building mistakes that I've made in the past, and just making more usable square footage of rock to mount stuff. So gotten a little better at doing 2-part epoxy and connecting rocks and stuff over the years. So should be good. Take my time with it.
It's amazing what you do learn from one to the next. And you think you're solving all the problems, but different ones come along. Well, I'm doing something I've never done before, which is curing rock before I use it. And so the placeholder rocks that I put in the holding tank are now in a tote of salt water with a heater and a power head. And they're just going to sit there. And I'll do water change every couple of weeks. I got some advice from Fish of Hex about how to do that. I have to take a look at his video about curing rock and see what else I need to do. But once we're not living in our house anymore, once it's sold and we move out, if there's time before our new house is ready, I think I'm going to start building some of the pieces that I want to use in the new build so that I can put them in totes and start curing them.
Yeah.
And just see what that's like, because I've never done it before. I've always started tanks with new dry rock and just let them go through all the different stages. And it does take a while sometimes, but eventually I've always been satisfied with the results. So this will be different. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. That'll be good. Yeah, my tank is going to be 72 by 36. So
right.
I'm almost thinking about it in like as 2 36-inch cubes in terms of the aquascape, and doing kind of two separate kind of rock structures, or two groups with like a channel in the middle. I've liked tanks that have kind of that middle divider that I've seen, and then I don't know, just some of my initial thoughts. I could definitely change. It could definitely change. But.
Well, I'll have probably, mine's going to be 72 by 48, and it'll probably be 22 inches deep, because that's what the reefer is, and that's as much as I can reach the bottom with my hand. The 90 is 24 inches deep, and it's too deep. I cannot reach the bottom. So originally I was going to go 24, but I really don't want that. But even at 22, there's going to be a spot in the middle, 3 feet away from the sides and 3 feet away from the front, I'm not going to be able to reach.
Yeah.
So my plan is to create an open cave structure there, so that I can see inside it, and so the flow is still good. But if I make it interesting enough, I won't have to have coral on it to make it interesting. And at the same time, it'd be a great place for fish to sleep at night, or hide when they need to, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking now, so that when you look at it from the front, you can see openings and dark spaces and everything inside. And even when you look at it from the sides, you'll just see a different angle with different openings. And I don't know if I'll be able to accomplish it, but if I find the right rock, I should be able to do it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if it works.
It's fun thinking about and trying to execute those plans.
Yeah. Like when I built my current one, I wanted arches. And I thought I could get arches by taking Marco rock and a chisel and a hammer and making it into small pieces and carving it out. No, it doesn't carve so well. So I learned that after I got the chisel stuck. Hey, the Salty Reef. Alex Reyes recently started doing no pox. Cato started to die out. So presumably your nitrates and phosphates have dropped because of using no-pox. I'm assuming that's why you would have started using it. So if your SPS are enjoying those levels of nitrate and phosphate, I don't know, you could maybe feed more? What do you think, Chase? Have you used no-pox? I can't remember.
Yeah, I have. I'd say in reference to his question, without knowing more information, it seems like if your SPS are happy, that's the bet to go with. If your Chato's not as happy, I wouldn't stress about that too much. Even if it gets down to a very minimal amount, that may just mean that you don't really need the Chato to keep the levels that your corals are healthy at, or when your nutrients do start to come back up, maybe the Chato will start to build back up. But algae and stuff is really resilient, so I wouldn't worry about its health too much. If it just looks dead in there and completely like ghost white, then I would just recommend taking it out. But if your SPS are happy, man, that's one of the top goals there. So good on that.
I totally agree.
As you were saying that, I'm thinking you're 100% right. I never even thought of that. Why did I get Cato? I got Cato so that I could handle nutrients, so my corals would be better, so I'd have less algae in the main display and all of that.
Yeah.
So if you're accomplishing that anyway and your Cato's not thriving, then it's not getting enough nutrients, so your system doesn't need it right now.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, mine died, and now it's coming back. The Chato.
Yeah, when my
Remember that I
nutrients
removed the
go
whole
up,
thing?
my refugium will boom. So
Yeah.
Oh, he says he's
I thought
trying to get
my
more
Chato
pods. He says he's trying to get more pods, which it's true. They do live in Cato, but they also live, if you have
Everywhere.
any kind of biomedia or anything like that.
They live in the sand pit inside the rocks.
I have a pod. Yeah, I have a pod hotel that is little pieces of that plastic corrugated stuff, and they live in there. He has a dragonette.
Yeah, they live everywhere. Pods live everywhere.
Yeah. Every once in a while you can, if he's struggling to keep pods, every once in a while you can get a little booster pack from one of the online retailers or something, or your local fish store, and just turn your skimmer and stuff off for a little while and dump those in, and you just sometimes you got to repopulate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Hector, you're on Father's Day. You're going to be baffling a sump.
Yes, I am.
So you're going to put your return pump in that section that you're creating.
Yeah. So now just basically making this sump, a full sump.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
a baffle for the pump, and maybe that's gonna help keeping the alk. It's not that much water volume evaporating.
Yeah.
And the ATO fitting it. So since I didn't find a 45, I had a 90, so I cut the 90 part
Yeah.
And now that's how it
Yeah.
looks now. But it's working.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I
'cause this
can't see
one's a
how it
little
would
low.
hurt. I
Oh,
can't see how
that's
it would
funny.
hurt to add a baffle to do that. Like,
Yeah, I mean that's the
Just a
only
pain.
difference between both sumps, you know, and they both. I mean, once the water evaporates, I would think that's the only difference. It's making a difference on alkalinity, because I put in
yeah.
the ATO the same water. I mix the cold water with the RO water, and that's what I use as my ATO.
Mm-hmm.
I got my secret formula, so it stays so the alk stay the same. But not in this one. This one seems to be draining the alkalinity, and also um, my what is it? My salinity drop at the same time. That's why the clown was floating top of the soil.
Oh,
She was
really?
swimming on, yeah, in brackish
So
water.
you had too much fresh water, or just too
Yep.
much all at once? Oh, you
Yeah,
know
too
what?
much all at
You know
once.
what? You know what would happen? The salinity would go up and down and up and down. That's what would happen.
Yeah. So my salinity was 1.020.
Hmm.
So
Huh.
that's why the clown. That's why the
Wow.
clown was floating on top of the soil. I went up 3 points. The clown started acting normal once I did
Wow.
the water change.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So yeah, the ATO. I mean, I probably the J Bow ATO don't have nothing to do with it. Probably the space in the sump.
Hmm.
And now if I make that baffle, it's gonna work. So we'll see. I keep you guys posted.
Mm-hmm.
I usually
Yes,
test
you'll
both
post.
tanks the same day.
You'll put your video up at 3:48 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. You're not the only one to say that.
I know.
I don't know. I wake up and since I don't smoke no more, so I try to find stuff to do.
Yeah.
So and saying that, this is what's today? The 21st, 22nd,
Tomorrow's the 21st.
the 20.
Today's the
Okay,
20th.
so today's been a month
Hmm.
cigarette free.
Good for you.
Nice,
Yeah,
man. Glad to hear that's going well.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So no cigarito. Good.
Wow. So you can
Yeah. So
imagine if I'm up at 3:48 a.m. why I don't like getting up at 7:30.
yeah. I'll wake up and go around the house and with a flashlight look at the tank, probably feed some of the
Uh-huh.
FPS and say, you know what, let me upload a video. Put the video to upload while I fall back to sleep. I
Yeah.
sometimes I fall asleep listening to myself. That's why I'm so boring, so I fall asleep. You know how it is. I said, "Oh my God, here we go, Hector again. Come on."
My poor husband, when I'm working on a video, especially if I'm editing, I like to drop the music in first.
Yeah, yeah,
And then sometimes you can edit it at a way that in a way that goes with the music.
yeah,
But you got
yeah,
to
yeah.
play the same little clip over and over and over again to
Over,
get it
yeah.
right.
Yep,
So
yep.
he usually just gets up and leaves. He can't stand it.
Yeah, I tried a couple times with the voiceover, but no, I sound too fake, you know. So I say, you
Yeah.
know what, the people they gonna like me. They're gonna like me with my accent, with my with everything, the whole package.
Well, Billy Pipes said earlier in the chat that your accent was dreamy. I wonder if he left it in here or if he took it out. Somebody said he's drinking. There we go. Is Eclipse's accent just dreamy? Yeah, they say he's drinking. Yeah,
Here?
I find the sound quality is really hard to get good.
Yes,
If
yes.
unless I mean I go in my closet and
Oh, look
I
at
have
that.
a lapel mic that I use to
Yep.
do the voiceovers because the fish room echoes, and the last update on my iPhone, the quality of the sound changed in some way.
Yeah, yeah.
and it's really harsh now. So I almost always do voiceovers. Sometimes I leave in little things, little bits here and there, but
This is my
I can
little
tell the
microphone.
story much better. Yeah, yeah, it's just a little one like that that
Yeah.
I have.
And sometimes I say, "Damn, I gotta connect the microphone." So you know what? Let me just do
Mm-hmm.
it like that.
Yeah,
You
I
know, be
know.
fast and quick and effective.
Yeah.
So, but I got couple videos coming to bore you guys a little. I, I'm gonna win on your video. Watch. Nah, never, never, never.
I
It's
have
my
so much
baby.
footage to do. I've
Yeah.
got moving Mollywood, moving the reef part 3, which should be part 3, 4, and 5. I might do the
Hmm.
fish separate from the rocks. Yeah, that tank is going to be stuffed to the gills. Um, yeah, we're trying to find a way to move the lights from my current tank to the new tank. We can't drill into the ceiling, and right now I have a couple of lights hanging on. You know those tracks that they put up on the walls with the little slots in them, and then you hook in the brackets, the metal brackets
Yep.
that come out, and they've got a little hook at the end, and the shelf sits on there? Well,
Hmm.
Yep.
my lights are hanging on a couple of those brackets. So there already was a shelf track on the wall, so we just got some brackets and we've hooked the lights on there. So we're trying to figure out a way to hook the Kessel and the Orfex onto those brackets so that I can bring my existing lighting over to the new tank and get
Yeah.
some continuity. That's the biggest thing I'm worried about. I had no RTN for the
Hmm.
piece that I
That's
took
good.
over on Thursday, so that was really good.
Hmm.
The bit that I did today, it looked like my Narnia was suffering a little, but it could just have been slime. I don't know. Oh
Yeah.
wait, we're going back tomorrow, so we'll see what it looks like.
Mm.
Broke Reef Man 45 says he just cleaned his
Oh,
Vertex 150 for the first
you know
time in
what I
over a
want?
year.
You know what I want this week? Even though things
You
was
won
going,
something?
yes, I want a giveaway,
Oh my
a
god.
big one too. I won
You
two
and your
giveaways this week.
giveaways.
Yeah, I won two. I
Did you ever
won.
get the
No, not yet.
Okay.
I messaged them again, and nothing. Don't respond. I think I commented on one of their videos. They asked for my address, and that was it. And I text them again or message them again, and I say, "Am I ever gonna see this corn?" And no response.
Wow.
But you know, God is good. God is good. So I want a sticker from, I forgot their name on Instagram, and I want a Hellfire torch.
Oh.
Nice.
Yep. I want a Hellfire torch from Kung Fu Corals. And you know what I did? So big shout out to my boy Drama D. I gifted to him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Cause he always hooked me up. He's always been there for me. He never had a no for me. So I said, and Drama lived close to the guy. So I said, you know what? With all this going on with the mail and all this, I don't want
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
to be sent to me and then something happened on the way over here. I say Drama D is right next to the guy. He worked with the guy sometimes, so might as well just give it to Drama. So
Nice.
so that was my Father's Day gift to Drama D. So Drama D, if you're in the chat, enjoy.
Nice.
Yeah. A Hellfire torch.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, if in the future, everything goes well and he get babies and
Yeah.
he can send me one, then why not? But right now, and also I'm not ready to have a torch in this tank.
Yeah.
Even though this looks like a torch, but I don't think it's a torch. With all the temperature swing and sometimes
Yeah.
in the Twin Cities, sometimes I get a little bit of alkalinity swing, not too much. Like noticeable, but I want to be able to have a controller and all that goody stuff if I'm gonna have an expensive core like that. I don't
Yeah.
want to take the risk.
And they're so finicky. Torches, you get a
Yeah,
little bit of damage and it can get infected so quickly.
yeah.
And
I
they
had
just they
the
melt
purple one,
away.
like the one you got. I had a purple one like the one you got, and it just died. Boom, gone. For no, I don't know exactly what happened to it, And so
Drama D is saying, thank you so much,
yeah,
Hector. Happy Father's Day to you as well. You know, I'll send you some frags.
yeah, and
That's cool.
he gave. I bought something from him, and the price that he gave it to me, like I couldn't find that price nowhere else. So that was a gift to
Wow.
me, man. Also, so I thank him for that. You guys see it. You guys see it when I put it on the. It's coming. It's coming. Hopefully, it don't get
Teasers.
damaged on the mail. But like I'm so grateful to have a friend like him in the hobby, and I
Yep.
met him through YouTube. That's how I met Drummer D. I started
Yep.
following
Nice.
him, and because of him, that's how I felt to keep cubes. That he had that big cubes that he had, and I started following him, and that's why I got these little cubes here.
Yep.
So started with the
Cool.
27. Now I'm down to this 14-gallon. Yeah, I learned a lot from the guy. Well, who better
Nice.
person than him?
Too bad I couldn't send you a frag of my Corky
Aw.
Sea Finger. I did a bunch
Okay.
of fragging too. I did the toadstools
I
and
saw it.
yep, and this one in this picture behind me. And I got 11 frags from it.
Wow.
That was interesting.
Wow. Yeah, I saw when you posted on Instagram all those frags. That was a lot of frags.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Yep.
It's amazing how at the beginning, you want them to grow, but once they grow and they get so massive, now you got a frag and you got all this frag, but you don't know what to do with them.
Yeah,
It's
true.
wow.
I'm so glad that the LFS can take them again.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't do it for a while. They weren't, because I guess they weren't getting turnover because they weren't getting customers.
Yeah.
But now finally things are opening up. They
And
still
we don't
aren't
want to kill
open.
them,
But well, no, exactly.
That's one thing, we in this hobby because passion, I love the hobby, so
Yeah.
we don't even want to kill a copepod. That's
No,
how
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it's true.
You guys didn't see me earlier. I was emptying this stuff, watching for copepods in here.
Yeah.
The reactor. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it bothers me.
Mhm.
Mr. DKH says I need corals for my new build.
Well,
We're-
I got a bunch of sauce. If you want
Where
sauce.
are you, Mr. DKH? What part of the country are you in?
Yeah, if you're close by, I got plenty of starter stuff I could send you.
Yeah.
Oh, look, here's Richmond Reefer. Jose, it's been ages since we've seen you. He's celebrating his first Father's Day with a glass of bourbon my wife got me for Father's Day. Oh, that's great.
Nice.
Congratulations on that gorgeous little girl. Oh, Mr. DKH is in Massachusetts.
Oh, my neighbor.
Yeah, a little far for you, Chase.
Yeah.
Darn, we need to find some of those New Mexico reefers. Yeah, somebody, I think Justin Washington said that's a nice fathead there, Hector.
Yeah. I had this thing for, I think, over a year now. And now is when I started putting babies out.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Got three babies.
Hmm.
So hopefully we get to frag it soon.
Oh, yeah.
I did pay a lot for this one. The guy in the LFA, I'll let you know when I frag, and kept saying that for like no life for like 6 months. And when he finally fragged the colony, he won a lot of money for each head. So I spent $80 on it. But it was the biggest head too. So I couldn't, I when I saw how big it was, I said I got the more chance of making it than the little one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Terrence Little Ocean. I don't ship, but if you're in Niagara area, and if the Niagara Coral Show does happen, depending what I've got going on at the time, I'm going to be having to cut back a lot of Montipora, stuff like that. So maybe we should stay in touch, because if I have any frags, I'll keep you in mind. I'm bringing a pectinia for another friend if we go to the Coral Show, and we just don't know if it's going to actually happen. I think Hector was having trouble. So definitely keep you in
Sounded
mind.
like it. I've enjoyed those Niagara Coral Show, the streams they've been doing.
Yeah, I haven't been able to catch one yet. I keep seeing them on Instagram. I'm going to have to check it out and maybe do a binge.
Yeah, there's a couple good ones in there.
Yeah, it's a great idea. If, I mean, considering no one could go in person, it's a great idea to have, at least have them recorded like that. It's awesome.
One of the issues I have is I can't remember like where I've heard stuff, or like who said like why I'm this idea I have in my head. Like I know I heard that, but like who said that? Or there's just there's a lot of people putting out good information, and you know.
Yep, I know what you mean.
It's fun to watch, but sometimes I forget about what I've seen and all that.
Yeah, I like, if I use somebody's idea, I like to give them credit for it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it really bothers me if I know that it wasn't my original idea and I can't remember who it was. I always feel so lame when I say, yeah, I saw this on a video, blah, 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 but I can't remember who it was. And I feel like I should look for that video so that I can give the person credit. And a lot of times the video or the idea isn't even the main thing in the video. It's just something like something that they talk about or that gives you another idea.
Yeah.
And so you can't even really search for it because that's not what the video was about, right?
Yeah. But it's all good. It's a good community, and you know, we're just all trying to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether all of this lockdown period, people have been doing more videos or fewer videos. I can't tell. I feel like it's fewer videos.
Yeah.
Because there were people that used to publish videos once a week that have gotten more intermittent. So you wonder whether they're just spending more time with family, or maybe stepping away a little bit to take a break. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still behind watching videos, but I feel like there are fewer piling up, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder about this other video. I don't want to show this to you if it's horrible, but let me try and play it. This is what the... Okay, so here we are now. Unfortunately, my Skittles Bomb Cyphastria is right at the base of this, facing the other way, and it's clamped under the rock. I can't get it. So I have to wait till later so I can come in and reach in and lift up that arch to free it up. But most of it's out, but it looks like one edge of it might have been damaged. So yeah, I'm gonna put the lid back on, keep the fish in while we're driving. The poor little Aurora goby was disturbed yet again and was out swimming around the front here. Don't know where he is now. But anyhow, gotta drive. That one was better.
Yeah, that was better.
Yeah, that's what the tank looks like as of today. There's Hector.
I'm back. I want to show you guys something. Let me flip the camera. All this mission you gotta do just to flip the camera now.
Yeah, I got
so,
this
right,
webcam here.
Since
oh, that's why it looks so weird.
Since the J-Bow pump are good for nothing.
Yeah.
It's something that we could do with our magnets. You know? So this is my invention. Watch this. So Well, it's hard to see, but hold on. Let me place this coral around here. So
It's
please
a
do not stress.
UFO.
But you see what I can do with this? So if
Nice.
I put this, I'm gonna make a video better. But in both things that holds the actual power head, you can screw a flat rack there, and you can move it wherever you want. Either you can center it to the middle of the tank if you want. It's gonna be. Hold on, let me. So this is what I did.
Oh, I see. Oh,
Oh,
nice.
cool.
Yeah. So you can use it for, let's say if I put it right here on the edge, so I can put one to one side and the other one to the other side. Or I can send it to the, pointing forward.
That's funny. I have a couple of those laying around.
That was the battery. I mean, the the magnet. But yeah.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah, little
That's a
DIY.
good idea.
Yeah, and then you got a, what is it, nylon screw or plastic screw, whatever you call that.
Yep.
Yeah, so it works. It works really good. And then get the
Nice.
magnet, because now the magnet fell in the back. Oh, no.
Get a curtain rod.
Uh-oh.
That's what I do. Just get a metal
Yeah.
curtain rod and reach down and it'll stick to it. Oh, yeah. Oh, honestly, I can hardly wait to take the big tank down and see what treasures I find down there, including probably potato chip fish. Because a couple
Yeah.
a couple have disappeared. Not a lot. I honestly haven't lost a lot of fish. But there could be a few.
Yeah.
I glue that coral in the wrong spot.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes with
It's a
the
big
big
frag.
pieces. Yeah. Oh, did I mention I'm trading in my 9-inch by 12-inch Starburst Montipora colony to the LFS?
You trading it?
Because, yep, I can't keep it. It will not fit in the other tank. So it's a Starburst,
Wow.
so it has that swirl pattern. And
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
an orange with yellow polyps. So I'm going to take one of the bottom edges off and just put it on the rocks where I have space. But the thing is I measured it because I need to find a container that I can put it in to transport it to them. And it's 9 by 12 inches, and it's about
Wow.
it's in a cup shape, and it's about maybe 7 inches deep. The thing is absolutely huge. I wonder if I got a decent picture of it that I could put up here.
Yeah. It's crazy how much space those colonies can take, and then
Oh, yeah.
a lot of them need space around them,
Yeah.
So once they get that big, that's just crazy. Yeah, I got rid of a huge bird's nest colony for the same reason.
Yeah.
It was just I couldn't do anything with
just
it.
keep growing.
Let me grab this photo. Yeah, it's hard, and that's what I was talking earlier about. Things change, and sometimes the time has come where you can't keep something anymore as much as you love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here it is here.
Wow.
Wow.
It is massive.
What a good.
And you can't really see it from this angle, but at the very, very bottom of the picture at the front is an edge that's turned up. And that was wrapped around the overflow. It goes at right angles underneath.
Wow.
So it's got all those swirls and layers. And so I offered it to the fish guy, and he said, I'll take it. So I'm so glad, because I really didn't want to break it up and frag it. I don't mind if he does. I mean, that's his decision. But I would love to see it intact, or maybe broken in half and not in a zillion small frags. But
I would love to see it keep growing more and more and more.
Yeah. And see,
That'd be
when I
nice.
get the big tank, when I get the next tank, that's what my goal is to get
Yeah.
giant colonies.
Yeah.
You know,
Just let stuff
not
grow
just a
out.
dinner plate. That's right. Not just a dinner plate, a tabletop.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I guess if I only wanted one coral, I could do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if your tank's gonna be 7x4, you're gonna have
Six by four.
6x4.
72. Yeah,
You're
72
gonna
by
have
48.
that's close to 25 square feet of
Mm-hmm.
real estate there to get
Yep.
light and corals. So
Yep.
that's gonna be nice.
It's
Yeah.
it's going to be an opportunity to have areas of. I love the large solitary polyps and things like
Yeah.
Cinerina, Scolimia, that kind of thing.
Yeah, me too.
And I can hardly wait to have the space for them to actually spread out and see what they look like, because they're so beautiful and unique, and the colors are gorgeous, and I just really like them. I like the Acropora too, but
Yeah.
I don't know, there's something about those big showy flowery things that is just amazing to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, Fishman with a plan, dropping in right at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I think the
Oh,
SPS is more of like the hobbyist. Like we all want to kind of get to that goal and like
Yeah.
have those, but I think if you objectively like ranked them, just like got 100 people to look at a coral, like they're gonna come out with some like really nice LPS. Is probably gonna come out as like the favorite of the group.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just like objectively speaking.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all like the SPS because the challenge to keep them. It makes us a better
Yeah.
reefer.
Yeah.
But for me, I love Zoantes. That's my favorite form.
Yeah.
And Monty Coral, Lady Monty. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to have a
more-
mixed reef is my goal. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
Hector, I have a toxic green Montipora that was supposed to be encrusting, but
Yeah.
where it grew in my tank, it plated out. So the skeleton is really, really thick, and the color is just unreal. It's like I think you had one in your tank there, Chase, that you showed us. It's that really, really electric green, or that wasn't the pagoda coral. That was
I have
that
a
was
pretty
Monty.
neon Monty too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a color like the Season's Greetings is bright green, but it's nothing like this
Right. It's like
color.
fluorescent.
Hey, Insane Reefer. He's late.
Insane.
Very late.
Late to the
How's
party.
it going, Oscar?
Yeah, it's funny because, I don't know what you guys watch, but I watch a lot of the BRS videos and every other
Mhm.
person that puts videos out. And I think the BRS videos are kind of interesting, like the investigates, because they look at like, I'm just thinking about what you said about the mixed reef is kind of where I'm coming from on this random point, but they're like, how do you maximize like getting that blanket of light or getting that like, the 50 times turnover in the tank, or they kind of try to show you how to achieve those like gold standard things. But at the same time, I always have the thought like, is that necessarily what you want with a mixed reef? Like, I kind of want variable flow. I want variable pars. I want, so I don't know. When sometimes I'm like, I don't get too worried about some of that stuff that they talk about, because with the mixed reef, like you have to have different variables in your tank as hard as it makes it.
You do, and that's one of the reasons I have 8 power heads in the tank, because I can target the flow exactly where I want it. And I think one of the reasons they talk about that type of high turnover is that is what most, okay, I say most, I have no evidence for that, but because the idea of keeping Acropora and SBS and high-end SPS seems to be a goal of a lot of people, that's kind of what they aim for as sort of the pinnacle. So if you want to achieve that pinnacle, here's how you get there. Well, I happen to believe that a successful mixed reef is the pinnacle. I think of Reef Keeper's tank. I mean, you talk about a successful mixed reef. That is a perfect example of it. And that to me is an achievement because I know the skills that have to go into it. Every coral you choose has specific requirements, and you have to know your tank well enough not just to kind of throw it here and throw it there and hope it works, but you have to understand the hydraulics that are going on in your tank. And when this comes on and off every 5 seconds, it intersects with that's going all the time, and then the random flow nozzle throws a twist into it once in a while. So yeah, that's the perfect spot for that torch, right? Like, to be successful, you have to really know your tank, and you have to understand what you're doing when you set it up. And to me, that's an achievement. It's not accidental. It's not too narrow a focus. It's a broad spectrum of things you have to know how to do and understand and figure out. And I think that's what I love about it so much, is like just tweaking that power head. I've discovered if I change my Jable wave maker, the angle just slightly, believe it or not, in the upper right corner, the center front corals wave more, because whatever's going on in the dynamics of the water, it puts more flow right down front. And it's things like that I just love toying with it.
Yeah.
Anybody new in the chat? Drama D says he's nervous about going full SPS again after experiencing a few crashes. It's devastating. Yeah, I've had crashes, and it is it's hard to come back from. You really have to take it a day at a time and look for good signs every single day, and gradually it builds and you get over it.
Yeah, right now I'm dealing with one of the tougher calcium and alkalinity dips that I've had to deal with, just in terms of trying to keep up with my consumption. Again, since I combined like the two systems into one and everything, and it's just been, I've been testing about every 3 days, and I've just had to turn up my dosing, but trying to get it to some kind of even level.
Yeah, and
it's
I'm
always a battle.
Yeah, and I'm always afraid when I see the dosing levels starting to creep really high, or what seems to me to be really high.
Yeah.
Because then if something happens where your corals stop uptaking, this is what I'm going to be facing now with emptying this tank and moving over to the other tank. So as of tomorrow, this tank will only have essentially frags left in it that I'm going to be mounting from trimming all of the acros for transport. And I'll be mounting them to take to the LFS this week and then pump the water out, probably by Wednesday. I would love to have 2 weeks to heal them, but I won't have the time. So he's going to actually stop by and pick them up, which will save me several hours. And
That's nice.
Once it's empty, then I have to move all my dosing stuff over to the other tank, because guess what? That's where everything is now. And not living there, I'm going to have to plan my time really carefully to go and spend a day testing and tweaking everything and making sure that there isn't too much of a jolt between the two systems.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big unknown right now for me.
I'm gonna go meet you at the border, Cindy, so you can throw me a bag of corals.
Hey, listen, you come into Canada and I'll give it to you and you take it back. How's that?
I'll take it back. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Did you guys hear about Hannah new CO3? Johnny, do you mean NO3, the new nitrate? I think I saw a couple of posts about that, and I'm probably going to be about the third person in line to get one because I would love that.
Yeah.
If it's proven, that would be awesome.
Yep, I'm just starting to hear stuff about it, so I'll definitely pick one up. I'm a Hannah fan for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it just measures up to 5, I'd like to have my nitrates at 5, between 2 and 5. So I'm good with that.
Yeah, yeah. What I read was talking about it being a low range. So, how do you know what your values are? I basically just use Hannah for alkalinity, calcium, and phosphate. I use the ultra low for phosphate, and I use Salifert for magnesium, and Salifert for nitrate. I also have a NIOS nitrate test, which I like, but I've gotten away from testing for nitrates and phosphates because I've noticed that I have very little algae anymore, and so I don't worry about it too much. And my corals are dark in color. They're not all dark, but at least they're not all green anymore. At one point, they were all green.
Yeah, I've had that.
And of course, a day before I'm moving my PC rainbow, it's finally getting the colors it's supposed to have: the green at the bottom, the yellow, the orange. Yeah. So in the other tank, it's right below the brace. So it's not getting the right light, and it needs light, so it's going to be a problem. I may have to break it off of there and move it, but we'll see. I hope not.
It's tough.
So that's how I know. I mean, I have to specifically go over there and sit down at the desk and do the testing. So it's going to be a lot of driving over the next couple of months, but I won't have a reef tank in the house. So I might get to read a book once in a while. It's been years since I've read a book. Because you know what it's like. You're always either watching videos or reading about reefing, right?
Yeah.
Because there's so much we don't know. And it's very easy to come up with a question to look stuff up. So yeah, it's... Oh, good night, Benny Martinez. Oh, I'm sorry, Benny Fernandez. Jeez, why did I say that? I was looking at Johnny Martinez. I apologize. Yes, no 3, I'm a rookie. Good night, Benny. What I meant is how often are you testing in your daughter's house? I test about every 2 weeks right now. Oh, we lost Hector again. He's getting that funny noise. Because I have to bring everything with me, and including vials and all of that, but that's going to get packed up this week and taken over there, so I will go to her house probably 2 times a week at least to work on the tank, maybe more. It depends. I have a webcam, a Wise Cam on the tank, and I can see things pretty well. I wish it were better. But I can tell whether the torches are open and how the Duncan's looking and all that kind of thing. So I'll just travel over there as needed. It's a 45-minute one-way drive. And that's pretty much all I can do until such time as we move out of this house, depending how long we stay there. Hector said he kicked himself out. Oh, this is a good idea. Reading in front of the reef tank at night when most things have settled but too early to observe any bioluminescence. Another person with bioluminescence. Nice. He and Alex could have a chat. Well, I think it's one of those, it's that time again, 11:14. Wow. Yeah. I'm starting to have trouble thinking of my words.
I'm starting to fade a little bit over here.
Yeah. But. All right. Well, thanks so much, Chase, for coming in, and Hector, you too. We got to watch you do some work.
Yeah, that was good.
And so I hope you get your new tank sooner than you thought.
Yeah,
'Cause
we'll
then we
see.
get to see it.
I still got some other parts and stuff coming in. I have like
Yeah.
I got like a 3/8 inch rubber mat that I'm gonna put on top of the stand. So I have
Oh,
some
yeah.
other stuff I'm still waiting on. But yeah, hopefully in the next little bit here. Excited.
Yeah, and I get the joy of reverse engineering everything that we did for this tank. And I am going to document it because I want to show everybody the grunge that I know is back there. So,
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch.
yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I'm going to say goodnight, everybody. And thank you again, Chase,
Yeah,
for
no
spending
problem.
some time with us. And thanks, everybody in the chat. We're still up at 28 people. And we will see you next week, unless something drastic happens, which I'm not expecting, but you never know. Watch for those reminders. It's different every week, and it's not even a minute long, people. So check it out. You never know when there's going to be another giveaway, too, right? Okay. Bye, all.
All right, see ya.
Good night. Bye, everybody in the chat.